Shut it down.
My name is Priscilla Agbenag. I'm a court worker. I work in the Unified Family Law Court. I'm a courtroom clerk.
And how long do you work here?
Since 1999.
And what's going on today?
Today we're out here on a ULP strike, an unfair labor practice strike.
And what are the issues for you as a court worker here?
Bargain fairly with us. We're here asking management. Our specific reasons out here today is to bargain fairly with us.
And what are they doing that is unfair?
The first thing on the list is during bargaining, they're not bargaining fairly. We made info requests which weren't fulfilled. Our second issue is we've given wage proposals and they've never returned one back to us, a fair one at that. And third is they've threatened us across the table of, by terminating jobs. And you can't do that. And that's what they've done. And that's why we're out here.
Aren't they supposed to follow the law?
Exactly. The very place that the law's supposed to be upheld, they're breaking it.
What does that say about the court system?
It says that this economy, they're turning into one percenters. They're following exactly how privatization is going, and we got to stop that. As a community, as court workers, because we are a part of this community, we can't let that happen.
And how are their salaries, the management of this court system?
They're very compensated very well as the judges. The judges just got a raise. Doesn't matter where the funding is coming from. If you look at the economy, let's all rise together. Why does one state of workers have to be lower than the other? Why can't we all rise together?
Now, a lot of working people use the courts. Do you think there's an attack on court workers and public courts?
With the decisions of court services being made, yeah, they attack. We're part of the community, so it's very hard for us because this is our community. We're not only court workers, but we're members of the community. So we are being attacked in two ways, by being a court worker and being part of the community.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of money in San Francisco, billion-dollar corporations.
Exactly, and yet we're out here striking just for a cost of living.
So how has your real income declined in the last few years?
Well, in 2012, they imposed a 5% reduction, and we struck on them because that wasn't fair. Now we're here again, and there are some funds available, but they just choose not to give back to the court workers or the community.
Is there an issue of workplace bullying here at the court?
Absolutely. A dress code bullying. We just did a rally a month ago where management bullied a worker, and we had to come out here and do a rally for that. I'll talk about the most recent one was the dress code. So we had to have a rally and stand behind several court workers because the way they want to interpret things are different from how it should be interpreted, and what they see as a dress code in any other professional area, it's not good enough.
So how do they do that? I mean, don't they have a written dress code, or what do they do? I mean, they just arbitrarily...
Arbitrarily, yes, and that's why we fought and we won back.
Oh, you won?
Yes.
So what happened? How did you win?
Now we have the dress code, the old dress code back in place, well, at least the rules, and now no one's getting harassed by it.
So you had to fight?
We had to fight to stop the bullying, yeah. They want to shut down our morale. We're not going to let them do that. We're a strong union, we're strong people, this is our community. We love what we do, and we're going to fight for ourselves. If we don't fight for ourselves, no one's going to fight for us.
You have to stand for yourself.
We have to stand, and that's what we're doing here today. We're standing up for ourselves, and we're here for the ULP. Be fair with us. Bargain fairly with us. That's why we're here. That's why we're out here making noise.
My name is Gary Jimenez. I'm a vice president for SEIU Local 10-1, and the reason I'm here today is because it's an injustice what they're doing to workers right now. There's this austerity mentality that's coming down upon workers all over the country, but particularly here in California against our court workers, and we're here to say you can't treat workers like that. You can't treat them like they're just cattle. You can't treat them like they're slave labor. They're human beings, and the court doesn't function without them. As you can see today, there are people coming in and out, but they're not getting the justice they need because the courts want to treat our workers very badly.
Do they have a surplus? They have money?
Yes, they have a large money. We understand it's at least $16 million in surplus, which you're being told to spend down. But instead of spending it on the workers who actually do the work, I hear they're remodeling, buying new desks, buying new chairs, instead of investing it in what makes the court work, and that's the people.
How long has this been going on?
They've been in negotiations for quite a while. I'm not sure exactly when they've started myself, because I'm not a part of the courthouse here. But it's been going on. I mean, we had to strike them 2 years ago, I believe it was, a little over 2 years ago, because they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't listen to us then, and we're back here again. So it seems like they just didn't learn the lesson from the first time.
Wasn't there an issue of workplace bullying here too? Workplace bullying?
That I can't speak to personally. I don't know about.
So how far are they falling behind the wages?
I don't have those numbers off the top of my head. I wouldn't be able to answer that. Well, yeah, exactly. Like workers everywhere, right? You live in San Francisco, it's one of the most expensive places to live. One of the most expensive places even to work, to come, to travel here, to park, do all those kind of things. It's very expensive, much more expensive than most communities. But they're falling behind because they just don't want to give the workers enough to keep up with the cost of living. It's definite that public workers are being targeted. You can see that's happened across the nation in other states, and they're trying to move that here in the state of California. Public sector workers are unionized, and they're one of the last voices that workers have that is an organized force to be able to push back against big money, big corporations. There's tremendous economic inequality here in this country right now. And the unions are one of the big, strongest voices to fight against that for all working class people.
What can people do to support the court workers?
Well, they could certainly come out and join our strike line. They could also call the courthouse and let them know, let the judges know that what they're doing to these workers is unjust and unfair, and that they should be sitting down at the table bargaining fairly with them.
And who runs the court system?
Well, there's usually a presiding judge, but I understand that the executive director here is named Michael Ewan. They should call and ask for Michael Ewan and let them know that they need to treat the workers with justice.
My name is Brenda Barrows. I'm an SEIU 1021 member.
And what's going on here today?
I'm here to support my brothers and sisters in the courts who are having a similar struggle to one we had, where they're attacking their health care. What they want the employees to do is totally unreasonable. They have plenty of money. The city should pay for it. The court should pay for their health care. And that's all. They should pay for their health care. And they're not going to tolerate being mistreated that way. They're not going to allow the courts to take away their family income so that they support their families and charge them ridiculous health care rates when really health care should be free because it's a right.
Is that cost shifting?
Absolutely, it's cost shifting. They're taking what should be paid for by the employer, and they're shifting all the costs onto the employees, and that is not right. The Affordable Care Act got implemented. These employees had nothing to do with that, and they shouldn't have to pay for it.
Is there a general attack on public workers in this country?
There's a terrible attack on public workers, and it's happening it's happening in the courts, it's happening in public health, it's happening in every part of city government, state government, federal government, and the employees have gotten to the point to where they've been after attack, and they've had it, and they're not going to take it anymore, and we're all going to stick together to make sure that they don't get screwed over.
There are other workers, like the school workers, the Golden Gate workers. Should they start unifying? I mean, it seems like
I think it would be great if all workers that were under attack got together and we had one big mass rally once and for all to let everybody know that we're all fed up and we're not going to take it anymore, and that if you attack one of us, you attack all of us.
And is there an issue of workplace bullying as well in the courts and in public workers?
Well, actually, according to the economy, and when they cut back staff, and then they keep asking people to do more and more and more, and then the pressure, even on management, there's pressure on management to get people to do more. Even if you talk to some managers privately, they know that what they're asking people to do is abusive, but there's nothing they can do about it. The powers that be push them to do it, and then they have to push other people, and that leads to the pushing, and then anger, and then bullying.
So what's going to change it?
What's going to change it is employees getting together and working together and trying to, in each and every work site, handling their business, right? Not taking it, speaking up, and standing up for themselves.
Okay, so why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Nancy Cato. I work at UC Hastings. I'm an ASME 3299. I'm also a community activist with the Freedom Socialist Party and Radical Women.
And what's going on here?
Well, the court workers have gone out on strike. They're trying to get a decent contract, and needless to say, unfortunately, the courts are being recalcitrant in coming up with information, particularly about how much money actually is available for raises. They keep telling them there's no money, but as we know, there's always money. It's just where you choose to put it.
And is there an attack on public workers in this country?
Most definitely, yeah. We're kind of the last of the unionized workers, so it's an attack on public workers, but it's also an attack on unions. So that's why I'm out here as a public employee to stand in solidarity with my sisters and brothers in SEIU.
Now, privatization, is there an issue you see in privatization?
Yeah, most definitely, yeah. That's the thing. You know, all this stuff, I mean, what they want to do is, you know, and they've already done on massive levels, is to contract out, you know, social services, use our taxpayers' money to pay, you know, private corporations to do the things that public employees have been doing and doing well. The profit motive, we don't have a profit motive of public employees. That makes us better employees, and we can provide better services because it's not about the bottom line, it's about providing the service.
Well, this is a Democratic city. Mayor Ed Lee, it's a Democratic state, Governor Brown, Democratic legislature, yet it seems like they're continuing taxing, stepping up the tax on public.
Most definitely, yeah. I think it's no surprise. I mean, the Democrats and the Republicans, you can't distinguish between the two, mostly because they belong to the same, you know, represent the same corporate interests. So it's no surprise, even in quote-unquote liberal San Francisco. I mean, it's, you know, Mayor Lee who's giving all the tax breaks to the tech companies, which are, you know, costing, you know, people their homes, people who've lived here, working people who've lived here for many years, and people can't even afford to live here, let alone work here.
And is there ongoing racism in Ferguson and what's happening in the Black and Latino community? I mean, a lot of workers who use the courts, working class people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, it's all, you raise some very good points, because I think the point is everything is connected, and I think it's a system, the capitalist system under which we live in, that basically is the source of, you know, creating the large disparity between, you know, working people, the poor, people of color, and scapegoating, immigrants, scapegoating, you know, youth of color, exactly, yeah, all that's increasing, because again, you know, people are stretched to the limit.
And what should the unions do about it?
Well, I think going on strike is an important thing. I think going on strike for an extended period of time until you get what you want is really the main thing. I think labor unions, unfortunately, in this period of time, have really decided that the one-day strike is the way to go, and I think that it's, no, we have to really, if we're serious about what we want, then we have to be able to put our lives on the line and say we're going to do it until we get what we want and what we deserve.
San Francisco is a union town. Gonna rise up!
Shut it down!
San Francisco is a...
That's right!
I'm here from the East Bay to let you know that the way they're treating you here in San Francisco, they're treating us in the East Bay. They're treating us in Sonoma that way. They're treating us in Solano and San Joaquin and Mendocino that same way. And it's time that we stand up as workers and say enough is enough. It's time to stop it. You got to treat us with dignity. You need to treat us with respect.
That's right!
This is a San Francisco strike. It is your courthouse strike. But it is bigger than just your courthouse.
That's right.
This is a strike for all workers.
Woo!
You are standing up today for yourselves. But you are also standing up for workers all across the country, all across America, that are facing the same austerity. The rich holding money at the top and saying, we're not going to give it to you. We still want you to come to work every day, but we're not going to give it to you. They can't treat us like cattle. They can't treat us like slaves. We have the power when we stand up together unified. Enough is enough.